Gluteal amnesia is probably one of the strangest terms that we have in the strength and conditioning and physical therapy world. So what the heck is it, and what can we do about it? Yep, definitely a strange name, but a concept you really want to understand if you want to help improve your health and fitness. Gluteal amnesia refers to a forgetfulness, we could say, of the glutes, of what their primary job is in terms of extending the hip backwards like so, or extending the hip as we come up in this type of a posture. Now, that role often will get referred to the lower back if the glutes are underactive or not strong enough. That places a lot of strain on the lower back, as the lower back is not meant to be a hip extensor, it's meant to really be a stabilizer. So there's a few great exercises that we can do to sort of help combat that gluteal amnesia, to wake our glutes back up, to help them remember what their job is. So one of the simplest ones, and this is one of the most awkward things I could say as a strength coach, but you just want to stand there and flex your glutes. Kind of awkward, but it'll help. Do that throughout the day, five or so times. Hold it for 3 seconds. You definitely should see a difference in a few weeks in terms of your ability of your glutes to activate when you're doing normal things such as going up and down stairs. Now, to get to the real exercises that we want to do, first one we can do is use a stability ball here. We're going to come down like so, and we want to make sure that our core is nice and strong. Again, we want to make sure we're not just wiggling around. What I'm going to do is rest my head on the stability ball, so basically shoulders and head are rested on the stability ball, shoulder blades are on the stability ball, and I'm going to activate my glutes. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and put me up into a bridge position here. Now what I can do once I get up here is I can hold for a certain amount of time, but I really want to make sure that those glutes are being squeezed, are being activated, contracted that whole time that I'm up. Gonna rest as it comes down, my head can come off of the stability ball, and then I'm up again. Really making sure that I'm activating those glutes every time. Now, if you haven't got access to a stability ball, you can do a similar exercise just on the ground, doing a hip bridge, hip lifts. So what we're gonna do is lay on the ground like so. I wanna make sure my head's on the ground. Feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe slightly in. I just want to make sure that my knees are not going way in or way out here, okay? Hands can be here, hands can be here. What we're going to do is contract our glutes and go up into a good hip bridge here. So we want to make sure that we've got a straight line from our shoulder to our knees. And just like with the stability ball exercise, we can alternate the amount of time at the top and the repetitions based on what we're going for, okay? Want to make sure that my heels are kind of putting that force into the ground. My glutes are activating the whole time that I'm up. Relax and drive up, really activate those glutes. Again, you can hold for 3, 5, 10 seconds at the top and do less repetitions if you're doing more time at the top. Or you can do quicker ones and more repetitions. So the third exercise that we're going to talk about today is going to be an advanced version of that bilateral hip bridge, hip lift that we just did. What we're going to do is essentially take that same position on the ground, and instead of using both legs, I'm just going to use one. Now again, this is an advanced version, so if you're having trouble with this, go ahead and just stay with the bilateral version for a couple more weeks and get a little stronger in that, and then you can advance to this one. So what we're gonna do is, just as we used our glutes to lift ourselves up off the ground before, we're gonna do that exact same thing, although we're only using one leg. The other leg is gonna be out here, essentially straight out. I'm gonna lift up. Again, I wanna be in a straight line, and I want my knees here to be about as level as I can get them, okay? And as we talk about often, just reinforcing that dorsiflexion here of that ankle about 90 degrees can be very helpful. So we can do this similar with cadence and repetitions and timing as we did on the bilateral with this unilateral variation. We're up, we want to squeeze that glute at the top, You want to make sure that the lower back, muscles are stabilizing. They're not really the movers here. Again, that's key for all three of these exercises that we're talking about today. We're down, and we're up. You're going to feel the hamstrings working a little bit more on the single leg variation. After a certain amount of repetitions, we're going to switch legs. We're up. Make sure, again, we're squeezing the glutes at the top. Hamstrings are going to activate more. And we're up. All right, so there's 3 exercises that we can throw into our workout routine to help combat gluteal amnesia. As always, stay awesome and keep climbing.